Ground control is imperative for the Defiant, but already you can see Mag jumping up high and forcing the Defiant back. But that was a big nade from Bebe.
They were able to clean up the Defiant support line. Now they have no sustainability, and it's Justice making a strong statement on the Defiant, telling them, like, you know what, we're here to stand on this point. You guys are gonna go home back.
Extended just a little bit.
Actually trying to make them go forward, but actually falls through at the same time. That is not what he wanted. That face of frustration right there as he goes down, and it's DK taking a lot of that damage. I like the way that Justice, they're actually just going to give this space over to the Defiant. Another big anti, though, not going to have a follow-up just yet, as they are going to try to contest for as long as possible. They found Fury now, and that's nice. Okay, finding that pulse bomb pick off of closer. Justice, they're going to waver off this point and allow Defiant to move in.
Yeah, that was a big anti from Lastro there at the middle of the fight. He actually hit Fury when his bubbles were down, so he can be healed. He insta-dies.
Wow, and that was just definitely a way to pressure out those backlines. But now Nice isn't in the fight, and it's Hisu pulling the trigger on the Deadeye. Big anti onto Mag, but he's already tossed.
Oh, Lastro's dead.
Nice out of his fight, and Lastro actually was off to the side. He was unfortunately tossed back. It looked like Mag actually was a perpetrator of that too, because he forced him over to the side. Now with the rest of Justice moving in, they found 2 picks onto Defiant, and Michelle will be able to come right back in with a grab. So you have 3 people right now on the point to manage to waver Defiant off. The rally, though, is going to have Justice jump down. They're going to start the engagement after Hisu has gone down. They have to remember about that grab that Michelle has, like you may mention. Assassin gets put to sleep immediately. He tries to wait out that duplicate. He's going to be able to dive in and find Sato at the same time. You're by the traffic, though. Watch out. Where's your Uber driver taking you? But the grab, and he's still going in. Somebody stop Mag. No, here's the bubble.
Wait, he's not dead yet?
Oh my,
he jumped.
What?
No way. What?
What?
He's been playing. I tell you what, he's been forcing out Lamp here would be the greatest feat he can achieve currently. Doesn't look like he's trying to go for it. And Mag's already dead.
Yeah, now that Mag's gone, here comes Decay with the flash. He gets stunned though. He gets stunned. His plans have a dent on them, and he's forced to back off after Assassin and Mag are now down, and the rest of Justice are going to find themselves back in the spawn with Defiant holding this lead nearly 60% already on this point, uncontested into this EMP. They found Assassin again, and Assassin really has not been able to find his footing onto this point. You have Decay interrupting the backlines, but for how long when you have Mag now on the Primal and being able to try to push around Defiant, a big anti onto Sato. Despite that sound barrier helping them out, it was to no use as Justice now have been able to take control. They were trying to wait as long as possible. Big anti, and with the follow-up on this grab, it's going to be Assassin able to following up off of Fury and cleaning up the rest of Defiant.
Okay, so humor me this just real quick. This is going to be perfect.
And the way they've been rotating through these ultimates are so fantastic. And here comes the duplicate. He gets hacked though, and he gets immediately melted and booted off the duplicate. Now the tacked on damage that we're seeing right here from Hisu, he's on the backlines. He has a Deadeye. You have to keep your eyes right now on Hisu. The follow-up though, Mag and Assassin are gone. And Justice, they'd have to find DK, who's been able to have so much impact on the backlines. It's just managing of keeping him out of the fight. Now the pulse bomb's on in nap. Michelle's about to get demeched, and he does. He gets the reset with the Diva Bomb, and it's Lastro helping out Sato. Make sure to take care of those front lines. DK is still running away though in the back line, taking care of Nice. And Fury, unfortunately, won't be in this fight. It's overtime on board for the Justice to try to flip this point, but it's Defiant, though, trading in numbers. Somebody needs to take care of Mag that's on the high ground, but here comes Sato with the shatter. Nobody else left to follow up, and it's just a matter of Ansuje getting Sato out of the fight. And unfortunately, he's going to fall through. Luckily for Justice, though, they are able to try to flip this point out of overtime.
Yeah, and they have EMP for next fight as well. That was a really nice EMP rush here from the Justice.
And they are going to try to win the EMP. Now finding 4 huge here to fight the follow-up onto Sato and Michelle. If they can find Sato, and Lastro's gone down too. That leaves Michelle and Ansunjae, and it's not going to be enough to try to deal with Justice and the amount of pressure that they've been able to reverse the situation in their favor on this point.
It's final fight. Someone has to touch now from the Defiant.
What? Oh, they do. Sneakily, though, they find Nice over to the side. He was trying to stay all stealthy, and he had to get out of that mode, too, so that way he could push it into overtime. But it's going to be a cleanup. They're trickling in right now. Jocelyn Sato gets hacked, and the overtime, how long is it going to be before the Defiant just trickle back into that spawn?
Yeah, I mean, Fury has grab too, right? Nice can come in with an EMP, but it's all for naught, really. There's the grab on the solo support. Ant and Jay Lastro, they both get naded as well. That is going to be it, I can imagine. EMP is pretty good. Problem is, no follow-up. Justice, they're going to take...
Here comes the Justice trying to waver Defiant off of this high ground. It's a battle for the plateau, and you're talking about Nice, when now he has to get dove on by Fury, and that's going to be the person who's going to really try to attack on that focus onto them. Now Decay has found Hisu, The number advantage is already into Justice as they're already moving right onto this point. That's both DPS out of the fight for Defiant. We're making some swaps already, and Defiant, they're getting sandwiched. Justice are moving on to this point, trying to speedrun their way in comparison to what we had seen in that first map. This isn't looking close already in trying to take this point. It's not over yet, though. You still have Michelle trying to get in some of the extra energy. He does have that sustainability, but with both supports down, it's going to be Michelle meeting them in the spawn.
Wow, there you go. Very quick rotation, and who died first?
By Bebe's Coalescence, so that way the rest of Justice could start the initiation. EMP finding 4, though. Sato has that primal, he's coming right back in, but somebody stopped Decay. He got anti, and he still got away with finding that post bomb stick onto Michelle. Closer has a sound barrier, it's going to keep Justice back alive in this fight, and it's Mag that has a primal that's trying to toss Ansu-J around, so that way that rally doesn't really have that much of an impact. Somebody save Lastro, though. He's going to get damaged on by DK, but he gets out of this fight. I can't believe it. He got hacked here too, and Defiant are still holding on. They're trying to clean up Justice. They're trading in numbers after losing Lastro and Michelle, but they have the spawn advantage right behind them, and the Justice are still losing some numbers in this trade. Did somebody stop Assassin, though? He's still getting away with these hacks for free, and luckily, since he can hack that bottom health pack, it's actually going to be a big deal, because that's a big health pack that, you know, you're not going to have Defiant have.
Okay, nice. They eventually clean off Justice at the point.
That helps sustain himself. He has a Nano Boost at the same time. Justice have Bebe's Coalescence again, being able to get that ult rather quickly. Ansun-J is out of this fight, and Mag is taking a quick nap over to the side. He had his primal, but it's going to waste the end of it right there. He gets hacked again. They're just trying to clean him up, and they do so. Dead. Good follow from Michelle. Not only did they put him asleep, but they hacked him at the same time, and then Michelle cleaned him up. And currently with Defiant falling down, losing heads, Michelle is going to be able to get back into this fight.
Nice stick.
But here comes Decay with the stick on the pulse bomb, utilizing that onto Sato. Fury's taking a nap, and somebody stopped Decay. He's once again being a terror, but there's less than 60 seconds on board for the rest of Justice to move on to this point.
Yeah, they're still eventually killing Defiant people, but it's taking a lot of time. Whoa, okay, Hisu got hacked out of EMP. What? Oh my word. You saw him come out and he was ready to go. EMP comes out from the Washington Justice now.
Oh, Justice, this was absolutely huge. He found Sato, and that's the reason why Sato goes down. He'll be able to get into this fight with Primal, but Justice are finding these numbers onto Defiant. Now they have a clear view over this point. They've got the second tick, and Defiant are going to try to trickle in, but for how long can they hold on here, Juz? They have 2 now. The rally's going to try to wait, but the pulse bomb is going to clear out on Sunjae.
That should just be it. I mean, the rally brigging going down, like, it's surely over now. Sato gets hacked after he comes out of Primal Rage as they force themselves onto the point. Nice is trying to keep the game alive, but it looks all for nothing right now. The self-destruct finds 0 people, and it is all about Justice cleaning people up. Decay and Bebe are doing just that. The supports are dead. OT's here. It ticks down, and there we go. The Justice, they managed to cap point number 2. No time left.
Nice to come in, and the dive over, trying to find their way to break through the Justice defense system with them holding the high ground. It could be a little difficult. You can see Assassin already at this off angle, and somebody needs to deal with them, and nobody's in sight, and DK as well is going to be able to find Hisu. That's 2 people down from the Defiant. Anti onto Lastro, and he's going to find himself back in the spawn too here, Jaws, and this is not a good situation to be in if you're the Defiant. Boost onto Sato, try to build into this primal, but at least clearing some space to allow the rest of Defiant to move in, and great pick off of DK onto that high ground, which means that extra pressure that would have come through from DK isn't going to be a threat anymore for this fight. And the Nano Boost and the grab coming in, allowing Fury to actually allow the rest of Justice to pop off, and they're going to clean up shop around Defiant. 4 members down. It's just a matter of time before Nice and Hisu meet themselves too. That's a team wipe and a great follow from Justice after Fury's grab. To this high ground, stops Decay's approach to try to take that high ground from him. Instead, he's in the backlines and he's found Michelle. And they can't. They've just split the attention of the Defiant that they, unfortunately, when they're split up like this, Sato, who's not going to help them out on the front lines, is unfortunately not going to be enough, because then you have Michelle just pushing in through the choke point, and now they're staggering through with less than 30 seconds on board here, Jaws.
Yeah, someone needs to be able to touch. I mean, who's it going to be? I think someone's going to have to swap to Tracer or Ball, maybe for Sato to actually get this touch. They got 14 seconds to go. They have got grab, yes. They got nano. They can nano the Winston into the grab, or even nano Nice. It looks like Hisu switching over to the Tracer, but they're still running into Bob, grab, nano, and Copy coming up for the Justice.
They gotta do something. They gotta do something quick. There's nobody touched the point. Where's the point?
Defiant. They did a little bit. They've done a little bit healing. They got the Coalescence, which they can use first.
Something that you could get rather quickly, though. He's trying their best to make sure that Mag is threatened, but that's just tacking into the support ultimates for Bebe and Closer. Lastro's trying to go in, but he immediately fades out of that gravitic flux.
Fury got hacked out
by it. And yeah, hearing that, Fury actually, oh my, that's huge right there. And now DK though is gonna make up for that, being able to find Sato. That's one tank down, leaving Michelle to hold in the front lines, and Defiant now actually rotating safely over to the side. Nice goes down, and right now Justice, they're looking fantastic. Despite Fury actually getting hacked out of that, I mean, we had our eyes on Hisu. Of the coalescence, you don't want to take too much damage. Oh, you gotta see Hisu, he's gonna wait for the opportunity, finds 3, and closer had popped the ultimate for the rally. He hacked somebody at the same time. That's 4 members hacked, and Justice have lost Fury as he gets demeched, and they're gonna have to actually be careful here because the Defiant now are still able to try to attack on this pressure. They're trying to get onto the point. They gotta get this payload moving. There's less than 30 seconds now to allow them Justice. They're treating still Decay is found. Lastro's mag. Okay, that's 2 members down from Defiant. It's still very doable with the bomb on board, and now they have less than 20 seconds. They gotta go for a reset, and they used so much here, minus Michelle's Diva Bomb.
Oh my goodness, Mag a little bit 2BM there, actually pays for it with his life. Spawn points relatively similar distance here, so Justice can get back into the fight. Mag has mines, however, only 1 person left. It's the Diva. Fury is not going to be long for this world, I can imagine, but Jerry does manage to collect the header nice. Point's going to get capped, potentially. It's going to be a close one. Mag's going to use the mines on the point, but they demec Fury.
Oh, they're not giving up this point just yet. Now with the minefields here, it's going to be difficult for Defiant to touch a leg on this point. They have to be wary of that. Decay here is trying to rack into this pulse bomb. He's trying to narrow down his focus onto Sato, who's rolling out of that situation, and then the sound barrier. Here comes the Transcendence once again from Bebe to help out the aggressive Justice, and with finding Sato in the process, Definer at a automatically a disadvantage. He got hacked out of it. What? How does he keep consistently doing this? Jerry now having to trade that as Assassin's not here anymore. How does it keep happening to him? And the pulse bomb finds Alta Beba, but it doesn't matter. The Justice. What? I can't. The way that the Justice also just could, like, you see the position getting set up here. The Nano Boost now onto Mag. It's going to go right onto the fight. The window that you have to avoid getting in some of that space, but luckily Justice do have, oh, not lucky for Jerry, unfortunately. He didn't get behind the wall in time, but that's why you gotta respect the wall, the amount of damage coming in, and the anti, luckily Hisu has an immortality field to live off of, but you can't live in the immortality field when you have Mag smacking you around, and now Hisu's out, and the rest of Justice are moving on to this point. They only need to get 91% like you mentioned here, John, and Decay has the pulse bomb to follow into the grab, and that's 2 down. That's gonna be a cleanup, and Defiant are gonna find themselves back and booted into the spawn.
There's no way they'd be able to get in touch now. Like, what, the Lucio's going to touch? Maybe he gets beat, but it's looking highly unlikely. No. That percent is ticking up, and there we go. The Justice 3-0 in the series and continue their streak in NA 4-0 and a guaranteed place now in the knockout.